Tonight, students had the chance to learn more about the Civil War.
Plus, the SGA looks for new members. Stay tuned, Troy. Trojan Vision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy Trojan Vision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy Trojan Vision Nightly News for February 4th, 2014. I'm Felicia Payne.
And I'm Courtney Addison. Thank you for joining us this evening. Even though Troy's Student Government Association is usually decided later in the spring semester, at the beginning of each semester, the SGA has to fill in gaps left by senators who, for whatever reason, vacated their seats. Jamarlo Phillips gives us a look.
As representatives of Troy University, committing to excellence in leadership through service, enthusiasm, and Trojan pride, the Student Government Association is looking to fill vacant seats on Senate.
Whoever could not roll over and re-participate in the Senate for the spring, we have to fill their spot. So it's just a variety of different positions on the SGA that are open right now. A few at-large spots, a few for the dorms, and a few for the different colleges.
Thibodeau says the SGA is looking for someone who wants to make a difference and have their voice heard throughout Troy.
We're definitely looking for somebody that wants to voice their opinion, make a difference at Troy. We want somebody that's going to represent their college or their dorm or somewhere and just let their voice be heard. Let SGA know what needs to be improved, what needs to be worked on, and also what we're doing well.
One student gives his input on what SGA has to offer.
If you win the election, honestly, you're just going to be able to join the SGA legislator, be able to voice your opinion in the SGA. It's a great experience. You get to finish off the semester when people aren't, or for the people who weren't able to complete it. And if you didn't win the election, obviously still come to SGA, try to come speak your word, just be able to come interact with the SGA.
Voting for SGA Senate ended at 5 p.m. and those elected will be notified by the SGA president. Jamarlo Phillips, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
The new senators will take their seats at next Tuesday's SGA meeting.
As a southern state, Alabama obviously played a part in the Civil War. But how big of a part did the state actually play in the war between the states? A visiting lecturer offered his insight last night on the Troy campus. Sean Kent has the story.
Monday night, students and local residents met in Claudia Crosby Theater to learn about the 150th anniversary of the Civil War. Speaker was Dr. Kenneth No, a historian and professor with a wealth of information.
Well, golly, growing up in Virginia, you can almost count my childhood as experience, but I started working on the war pretty seriously in the mid-1980s as a graduate student, and I've taught it for the last 24 years.
Aside from studying and teaching it, No was raised during another interesting part of Civil War history.
It was the centennial. I was growing up at a time when lots of people were talking about the Civil War, and there were lots of events going on, and my parents took me to a battlefield, and that's really where it started.
Aside from the lecture, No opened the floor to those in attendance to ask him many questions. One man who was in attendance, Mr. Frank Fryer, felt this close to his heart as his grandfather fought in the Civil War.
We hope to gain a better understanding of what the situation was during the Civil War. We've all heard a history, we've studied history. We don't know how much is accurate.
As a history professor, No has really high hopes for what students take away from his speech.
I would be happy if students realized that the way we interpret the Civil War specifically, but history in general, is often a function of the times. It evolves as our lives and our concerns evolve.
Sean Kent, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
The annual McPherson Mitchell Lecture is presented by the College of Arts and Sciences, the Department of History, and Phi Alpha Theta Honor Society. Well, Courtney, last October, theater fans were given the opportunity to experience a musical production created by a Troy University alumnus, The Single Girls Guide.
That's exactly right, Felicia. However, later this week, the show will hit the road for a regional theater competition that could have national implications. Connor McCurry shows us more.
Troy University's theater department is starting off this spring semester at full speed. The fall performance Single Girls Guide has been selected to be performed at the Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival.
The KCACTF Festival is a really big festival as far as theater is referenced to, so this is a big opportunity, especially for us seniors that are graduating.
It's a good opportunity for exposure and to be seen in the performance world in the South, which is difficult to get yourself seen. We're looking forward to just getting ourselves out there.
In order to perform, the entire cast, crew, and set must be relocated to the festival in Roanoke, Virginia.
I think the biggest and the hardest thing is because we're traveling everything, including the equipment and the actors and the technicians, 10 hours away to do a performance for one night. So I think that's going to be a little crazy and hectic, but I definitely think that we can pull through and we're going to do an awesome job.
Well, we've never been 10 hours away before. We have traveled before and we know what it takes, but we've never been this far.
In preparation for the festival, some changes have been made to the show.
It's a flexible process. I mean, it's a piece of art, and you know, it's hard for the artist to walk away. It's never, as the saying goes, art is never finished. It's just abandoned. So the same thing goes with musical theater. It's never finished. You just have to walk away.
Connor McCreary, Troy Trojan Vision News.
The regional festival starts this Thursday in Roanoke, Virginia, and if the production does well there, it could be selected for the national festival scheduled for April.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. Out of Montgomery, Alabama legislators are returning after last week's meeting schedule got canceled and interrupted by the winter storm. Both the Senate and the House got back to work this afternoon. Alabama Senate leaders hope to vote on a proposal to ban legislators from becoming lobbyists for 2 years after they leave office.
And 2 Birmingham businessmen have received 6-month jail sentences and paid $1.4 million in restitution for evading state tobacco taxes. Farad Jawani and a Lawton merchant were sentenced after pleading guilty to 5 counts of tobacco account evasion and 5 counts of criminal possession of a forged instrument. They own Joey Enterprises, which does business at North Star Wholesale in Birmingham and also distributes goods to retail stores.
And also in Montgomery, Birmingham-based Regions Bank is expanding a loan program designed to create jobs in Alabama. Regions earmarked $1 billion for its Alabama Economic Development Loan Pool last year to help foster job growth in Alabama.
And still to come on Trojan Vision Nightly News, the softball team is getting ready to get their season underway, but there is some exciting news for them towards the end of the preseason. Mitchell Spoon will tell us more when he joins us with sports. Now Mitchell Spoon joins us with sports. So Mitchell, the basketball team is still midway through their season, but the softball team is actually getting ready to kind of kick things off this week.
That's right. They have a game Thursday against Auburn, but they have some exciting news that came in earlier today to end the preseason. I'll let you know what that is coming up in sports. The Troy baseball team received votes in 3 different baseball polls earlier today. The National Collegiate Baseball Writers Division I preseason poll, the USA Today poll, and the Collegiate Baseball poll. The Trojans are coming off of a 42-20 campaign last season and finished the year ranked as high as number 23. The defending Sunbelt Conference regular season co-champions returned 19 lettermen, including 2013 Sunbelt Conference Pitcher of the Year, Shane McCain. All Sunbelt pitcher shortstop Tyler Vaughn also returns to lead the Trojan offense. Troy will open up the 2014 season on February 14th at Ruder Pace Field with a 4-game series against Northern Kentucky. And for the Troy softball team, senior first baseman Casey McAllister was named to the 2014 Sunbelt Conference preseason all-conference team. McAllister, who was an all-Sunbelt first team selection last year, hit a .313 with 31 runs scored, 46 hits, and 9 doubles in 2013, while also leading the Sunbelt with 13 sacrifice bunts. She started every game for the Trojans and led the team with a .985 fielding percentage despite starting at multiple positions throughout the season. McAllister was also named to the Sunbelt All-Tournament team in 2012. And in other news for the softball team, the 2014 Sunbelt Conference preseason poll was released earlier today. The Trojans received 27 points and are predicted to finish 6th in the conference. Louisiana Lafayette was picked to finish first with 6 first-place votes and 62 points. And South Alabama was right behind the Raging Cajuns with 2 first-place votes and 57 points. The Trojans will open up the 2014 season on Thursday when they take on Auburn in the newly renovated Troy softball complex. The $3 million facility includes an artificial grass outfield, an updated press box, expanded locker rooms, and an 8,000 square foot training facility. Troy will also host the 2014 Troy Subway Invitational Friday through Sunday with Alabama, Kennesaw State, Memphis, Middle Tennessee, North Florida, and Northwestern State participating. And the women's basketball team is looking to use the momentum gained after defeating Sunbelt leader Arkansas State on Saturday for their next match on Thursday. The Trojan defense stood strong against the second highest scoring offense in the conference, holding them to just 7 of 24 on three-pointers and 36% on field goals. Troy also came away with 10 steals and forced 18 turnovers in the game. Head coach Shannon Rigby says the difference in our defense was the way they prepared for the matchup.
We identified 3 shooters, and usually if you have 3 shooters on the other team, you would not play a zone. But we identified 3 shooters, and we worked all week on hard closeouts, which is a term you usually use in a man-to-man defense. But even in the zone, we worked on closing out hard on all 3 of those shooters and not giving them shots, and then being physical with them when they're away from the ball to try to throw their shots off.
The Trojans will return to the court on Thursday when they face South Alabama at 5:15. And for fans who might be missing football already, there is no reason to fret. National Signing Day is tomorrow, and fans can see what newcomers will be joining the Trojans. TroyTrojans.com will be the home for all things relating to the Trojans on Signing Day 2014. For fans who want to join the discussions on Twitter, they can use the hashtag TroyNSD14. The website will update every time a national letter of intent rolls off the fax machine in the Trojan football office. Fans will be able to read bios on each new Trojan, which will include position, height, and their weight. Fans can also tune in tomorrow on Trojan Vision for a complete recap of the action. So, Courtney, Felicia, best of luck to the Trojan softball team on Thursday when they take on Auburn. And, of course, to the women's basketball team also when they take on South Alabama.
Absolutely. Hopefully all the Trojans will be able to get out on Thursday, weather permitting. You'll have beautiful weather so the softball team can at least have a sunny day whenever they play on their brand new field, and fans can come out and watch.
Of course, it'd be awesome to see them.
Thanks, Mitchell.
Thank you.